Hey everyone, getting those interviews, but not getting a job, tired of rejections? Well, I have some thoughts on how to ace that interview and get that job that you desire. So keep listening.
Do you want a career in cybersecurity? Are you unsure how to start? Curious what it means to be a cybersecurity professional? This is the Cyber Job Hacks Podcast with Dr. Jeff Colburn. He's a 30-year industry professional and the founder of Team Cavio, a company that specializes in helping people launch cyber careers. Join us on this podcast as we explore what it means to be a cybersecurity professional and how to get started. Welcome to the show.
Hey everyone, I know it's been a while since we've done a podcast, but I do want to thank everybody who's been listening to the old episodes. I hope you're finding them useful. I think they're still relevant today as they were when I recorded them. So, hey, thank you again for listening. And yeah, it's been a while, but you know, I received an email from a former student the other day and made me really want to jump on here and drop an episode, just to kind of encourage and, and just kind of lay down some wisdom. I've been, a network engineer for 30 years now. I've been a CCIE for over 20. I've been in this industry for a while, and I know what it takes to get started and also how to kind of become to the upper tier, so to speak. So I know right now a lot of people are like, oh, hey, the market conditions are not great. Nobody's hiring. And then, this email I received, is kind of pessimistic, almost like, hey, I'm getting a lot of rejections. And they almost like talk about shifting gears. But, I never said it was going to be easy. That's, it's one thing I tell my students, you can do it, but it's not going to be easy, right? That there's no golden ticket. And when it's, when the conditions are hard, you have to work harder, right? It's like you can't quit. You have to be persistent. And so, when you're starting off, and, I always say, well, if you don't have experience, you start off with certifications, right? So oftentimes, if you're going to become a network engineer, you start off with a Cisco CCNA, right? And there's a reason why, right? It's not because Cisco's the better product, right? You have Arista, great platform, you have Junipers, right? So, but it's about industry recognition, right? So Cisco did a great job marketing their certifications, and they became like the standard when we rate skill sets for engineers. So if they need an entry-level engineer, they'll say, hey, I need a CCNA level engineer. If they need a mid-level engineer, they'll say, I need a CCNP level engineer. And if they need an expert, they're going to say, well, I need a CCIE level engineer, right? So it's kind of like that rating system is become like an industry standard as far as rating skill set. And that's what recruiters look for, right? They're looking for, they'll search for CCNAs, they'll search for CCNPs, and they'll search for CCIEs. Arista has their ACE certifications. Juniper has the JNCIA certifications, but they're not as widely recognized as the Cisco certification. So that's why I always tell people, if you're going to go into network engineering, you start off with like the Cisco CCNA. So here's the rub, right? So, a lot of times I tell people, well, start off, get your CCNA, and that should help you get your foot in the door. Well, this is the problem, right? So, I get students, they get their certifications, and they start the interview process, but they stop studying. You can't stop studying, right? Especially if you're going to be in this industry, you cannot stop studying. I am 56 years old. I have been doing this for quite some time. I still study. I still lab, right? Because the industry is changing. You have new technologies. You have old technologies being retired. order to stay on the top, you have to keep studying, keep learning. So as soon as you get your CCNA, you can't stop studying. And you're just going to hurt yourself, because when you're not studying and you're not working because you're trying to find a job, you're going to start losing those things you learned. So what I recommend is, okay, you got your CCNA. What is the next level? You don't have to get a job to go to the next level. Well, hey, if you're going to really want to be a network engineer, then you're going to go after the CCNP, right? That enterprise core, right? So again, you're going to grow your knowledge base, right? So instead of just basic routing and switching, now you're going to start learning, different protocols. You're going to start learning BGP. You start adding to your skill set, right? You start doing more advanced labs, and that's just going to benefit you, right? So yes, you have a CCNA certification, but when you go in that technical interview, you're going to know a whole lot more, right? So you started your learning journey, and that doesn't stop. Once you get a certification, you start moving on to what's next. It's a lifelong journey. If you want to grow in this industry, if you want to survive in this industry, you're going to have to keep working, you have to keep studying, and that's what's going to keep you set apart from everybody else, right? So because I've seen a lot of engineers, they get to a certain level, they get comfortable, they stop studying, and they plateau, and they stay there. So if you're one of those people who keep studying and you keep learning, you're going to keep climbing that ladder. So when you get to, times like these where people are like, well, yeah, the market conditions are bad, nobody's hiring, I can't, nobody's, I get a lot of rejections, I'm getting interviews, but nobody's, okay, why are you getting rejected? What are the questions they're asking you that you got hung up on? Why weren't you the strongest entry-level engineer, right? Those are the questions you need to be asking yourself. Until you start asking yourself those questions and start filling in those gaps, right? Yeah, you're going to continue to get rejections, right? So you have to ask yourself, how do I become that better candidate, right? So what do I need to study? What do I need to learn so I don't get that rejection, right? Because the jobs are out there. Don't fool yourself. The jobs are out there. Yeah, it might get a little tighter right now, but it doesn't mean you can't get the job. You just got to become that better candidate. So what you need to study, what's going to make you that stronger candidate? And once you're in, believe me, if you keep studying, keep learning, you're going to keep growing. Don't plateau, right? I don't plateau. I haven't never, I always study, always getting better. And until you retire, that should be your mindset. You shouldn't be like, okay, that's good enough, and I stop here, because there's no level. Either you're growing or you're dying, right? That's your skill set. Either you're growing your skill set or you're dying your skill set, or you're dying in your skill set. So anyway, I just kind of want to jump on here a few minutes, give you guys some words of encouragement. I know it's been a while since you heard from me. I can't say I'm going to be dropping an episode every week, but I just felt that, hey, I jump on here, give you guys some words of encouragement. Don't give up. Don't let, getting interviews but getting rejected. Don't let that discourage you, right? Just dig deeper, study harder, lab up, and it'll happen, right? That door is going to open. You're gonna ace that interview, and you're gonna get the position. So I just want to thank everybody for listening. For all of you that's been listening, appreciate it so much. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Cyber Job Hacks Podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, please share with a friend who may be interested in becoming a cyber professional. Also, please leave a review on Apple Podcast. Your feedback is greatly appreciated, as it will shape our future episodes. Meet us here every Monday as we discuss the cyber job market and how to launch your career. Until next time, have a great week.